Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a high-voltage substation. The air is literally humming with power. It's an incredible place, buzzing with opportunity for a new engineer. But, and this is a big but, one wrong move in here, and it could be your last. Seriously, the path you take from this point forward, it's all about what you know, and more importantly, the discipline you bring to the job. Because in this line of work, a simple mistake doesn't just get you fired, it can get you killed. So let's break down the 5 most common, and I mean absolutely fatal mistakes a new engineer can make. And trust me, this isn't just about your career, this is about survival. Okay, let's jump right in with what is probably the single most dangerous mistake of them all, ignoring the lockout/tagout procedure. We call it LOTO for short. Now, it might sound all technical, but the idea behind it is actually brilliantly simple. No way, right? You'd take it off, put it on a stable surface, and then you'd get to work. Well, LOTO is basically the same thing. It's about making absolutely sure that the machine you're about to work on is completely, totally, verifiably dead. What this really means is you cut the power, and then, and this is the crucial part, you physically lock the switch. And guess who has the only key to that lock? You do. This makes it impossible for someone just to wander by and accidentally flip that circuit back on while you're in there. It's just a simple lock, but it's what stands between you and thousands of volts. So what happens if you skip this? If you just think, it's probably off, I'll just be quick. The result is, well, it's catastrophic. We're talking a shock so powerful it can literally burn your organs from the inside, or something called an arc flash, an explosion of pure energy that hits temperatures of 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It vaporizes metal and anyone standing too close. This isn't Hollywood, you guys. This is the grim reality of ignoring procedure. Look, this 3-step process isn't a suggestion. It's a law of survival. Step 1, you cut the power. Step 2, you never ever trust that it's off. You test it yourself with a multimeter. You need to see a reading of 0. And step 3, you lock it out and you tag it with your name. This isn't just paperwork, it's a contract you sign with your own life. So, you might be wondering, why would anyone skip a procedure like LOTO? Well, it almost always comes down to our second fatal mistake, making assumptions. And in a high-voltage world, let me be clear, guessing is just another word for gambling with your life. Phrases like, I think, or I'm pretty sure, or it should be, they have absolutely no place here. Certainty is the only acceptable standard. An assumption is an unknown, an uncontrolled variable in a place that demands absolute control. And you know, what's really scary is that your assumption doesn't just put you at risk. I've heard stories, real cases, where an engineer assumed a control room loudspeaker was busted. He gave a verbal okay to work, thinking no one could hear him. But the team out in the field did hear him, and they started working on a live circuit. That one little assumption put an entire crew in mortal danger. So what's the fix? It's so simple. Just ask. Never ever be afraid to look like you don't know something. Asking a question isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of professionalism. Saying, I don't know, can you confirm that for me, is a sign of strength. Saying, I think so, is a sign of pure recklessness. And of course, the best way to stop making assumptions is to have crystal clear communication, which leads us right into mistake number 3, the communication breakdown. Think of it this way. If a live wire is a physical danger, a vague word is a verbal one, and it can be just as deadly. This slide just illustrates it perfectly. Look at the left side. Turn it off. What is it? There could be 10 different it's right next to each other. Now look at the right. That's a professional life-saving command. It's specific. It names the equipment, transformer T2. It names the location, Hall B. There is 0 room for guesswork. The communication between the field and the control room needs to be as precise as a NASA launch sequence. You have to use the official names for all equipment. And you always, I mean always, repeat the command back to confirm you heard it and understood it correctly. Your words are a tool, and they need to be just as reliable as your multimeter. Okay, so you're communicating clearly, but where are you standing? Just as important as what you say is a clear understanding of your surroundings. And this brings us to error number 4, getting lost in the danger zone. It's treating the substation like it's a park you can just wander around in. But this isn't a casual stroll. It's more like navigating a minefield. So let me ask you a question that might sound a little crazy. Can you get a fatal shock without physically touching a single wire or a single piece of equipment? The answer? terrifyingly enough, is yes. Yeah, high voltage equipment creates these incredibly powerful electromagnetic fields. If you stand too close, if you're in the wrong unauthorized place, an electrical current can literally arc through the air and right through your body. You don't have to touch the wire for the electricity to touch you. The only way to handle this is with discipline and knowledge. Your first day on any site, get a guided tour from a senior engineer. Learn that map, make it your Bible, understand what every single warning sign means, and never, ever walk into an area unless you are explicitly told it is safe. Your curiosity can never, ever outweigh your caution. All right, once you know exactly where you are and where you can be, you have to make sure you have the right tools for the job. And that brings us to our fifth and final mistake, using the wrong equipment or the wrong personal protective equipment, what we call PPE. In this world, a screwdriver is not just a screwdriver. You can see it right here, a standard metal one from your garage. That's a direct highway for electricity into your body. But a high-voltage rated, insulated tool, that's designed to protect you. Same thing with gloves. A ripped leather glove offers you nothing, zero protection. But voltage-rated insulating gloves, they're your last line of defense. There is only one solution here, and it's relentless discipline. Before every job, every single time, you must inspect your tools and your PPE. You're looking for any crack, any tear, any tiny defect, because a tiny little hole in your glove is a wide open door for thousands of volts. This inspection isn't a chore, it's a life-saving ritual. So, to wrap it all up, it really comes down to these 5 golden rules, doesn't it? Don't trust anything, verify it. Don't assume anything, ask. Communicate with absolute clarity. Know your environment like the back of your hand. And always, always use the correct inspected tools for the job. Because at the end of the day, there's one fundamental truth about this profession you have to burn into your memory. Other jobs, other fields, they might have a margin for error. But electricity never, ever forgives a mistake.